What is going on, guys? So today I'm going to show you how to spin up an Azure SQL Server database for $1 a month on Azure. So you can also have a free database if your account is within the 12 months of being a new account. You get like free credits that you can use on these databases. You can actually spin up a pretty beefy one with those free credits, but they run out and they don't really tell you when they run out, so they'll start charging you. So let's just create the cheapest database possible and not worry about any of that. So you can see right here, estimated cost per month, 90 cents USD. How did I do this? Let's go back to the start before I create this. So first things first is you're gonna want, that's fine. We're gonna want a resource group. So what is a resource group? It's just a collection of things you have deployed on Azure. If I click into mine here, you'll see I have no resources, but I can create a budget for it. So track how much I'm spending per month, send emails out if I'm spending more than I want to per month. I can edit permissions. So like only let certain users do certain things on my my resources in this group. You know, I can have my database and my web app in one resource group, and then I can have my Redis cache or like another database in another resource group that they don't have access to. So you can do things like that, and that's the whole point of having a resource group in Azure. They want you to do that before creating a resource, so it knows like what it's mapped to. Some people just have one resource group in their account and they keep it simple that way, so you can also do that. But anyways, you want to go into the group and then go create, so you can create a database. So now we can see the marketplace and just search SQL here. Go away AI, and we're going to want to click Azure Services Only. So SQL database is the one you want. Azure SQL overcomplicates things a bit when you're deploying it, but you can also get a free Azure SQL deployment within the 12 months like I was talking about. Anyways, let's just do this for simplicity. We'll go create SQL database, and this will be a SQL Server database. So we are now on the deployment screen, and let's go through this one by one. So subscription, you can have more than one subscription per Azure account, but a subscription is just a credit card or a method of payment mapped to your account. So you have all your resources and resource groups under a subscription. So I'm paying for all this under one credit card. You can have more than one subscription. So if you want to split paying things under one Azure account, put your buddy's credit card on a subscription, put some resources under that, and that way they're not all under one subscription where you're paying for everything. That's just like something. I only have one. I have one credit card mapped to this account, so here it is, Azure subscription 1, and here's where you pick the resource group. It should have the one you've already picked because you went and created it under it. So that's the resource group I had. We're going to want to put a database name, so we'll do new DB 435, sure. And we're going to want to create a new server here. So this is going to create a new server that we can log into using the portal or using SQL Server Management Studio. So I'll give this new, and you have to give it a unique name here. So we'll do, okay, new DB3. And this is important here. So Microsoft Entra only, a little complicated. You have to enter a Microsoft Entra group with your Microsoft account, and it kind of links Azure and your Microsoft account together, but you don't have to worry about this because you can just use SQL authentication and create your own login this way. So like if you do, go away, man. If you do new DB admin, that's what you log in with now, and then you can put a password like this, confirm the password, and now you can log into your SQL server. Once this is created and then you deploy it, you'll be able to log in. So workload environment, you can see right now it's estimated to cost $5 a month. That's because we have 32 gigabytes of storage, but we can lower that. So you can lower that by configuring it here, but first things first, don't worry about using the elastic pool. This is potentially going to increase the price, but not necessarily. It depends on how you use it. For simplicity's sake, let's leave it at this so we can configure the database how we want. So leave it at a development workload environment. Development means Azure's going to manage starting it up, booting it down. It's going to try to save a little more money versus a production one. So, you know, if you don't ping your database for a couple hours, let's say even like 30 minutes, it's probably going to shut your database down. And then when you ping it, it's going to wake up, take a little bit to respond, and then give you the data back. So it tries to save money that way, which is also cheaper for us. And here you're going to want to configure this database. So we see the max vcores. That means it's got 1 CPU. We want to leave that at the minimum so it's as cheap as possible. But here you can actually make it a little cheaper. So we have 32 gigabytes of size by default, which is $478 a month. Well, if we lower this down to like 6 gigabytes, it's now 90 cents a month. And you can even lower it down to 1, but like $1 a month. We might as well, right? Let's just leave it like that. So you can apply now, and you scroll up, you see the calculations different. So now we're at a $1 a month database. Backup, this is not super important. Geo-redundant backup storage is the default setting. You can leave it like this. If you want to select locally redundant backup storage, you can also do that. You can do a little more research in this, but locally will be available in all regions, like it said. So we can go next, networking before we create it. Connectivity method. You can either connect publicly via IP addresses, service endpoints, or using a private endpoint. We can do, I think we leave it. Yeah, you have to add IP addresses if you pick this. So let's do no access for now. And then connection policy. So just leave it at default for this as well. And then leave the TLS version. So this allows you to control the IP addresses that access your database. And you have to come in and add them all manually. I was forgetting what that was, but let's go next. We don't need to worry about that. Most of these things you're going to leave by default, but I just want to walk through them with you guys anyways. So we have some security built in here at the database encryption key level. Let's go next. Additional settings. We can use some sample data. I don't mind. Or some. Yeah, you can also choose a backup if you want to upload a backup file here, but I don't have anything. We'll leave it at none. It's okay. And then database collation. This is dependent on how you want your database collation to be. I just leave it at default settings because it doesn't really matter. So we can now review and create this. Like tags isn't also very important. You can just skip it and now review and create. So we can see it's $1 a month. And we can see all the settings we just went through. Maintenance window, it may shut down within that time and you won't be able to use it. That comes with it being a development environment. It's just how Azure works, but it's not going to do that every day. I don't know, it's pretty rare. So now we can create this. So now it's going to deploy your database and we'll try to access it afterwards, after it's finished. I'll make a jump cut when it's done deploying, but here's the deployment screen. So we'll see under the subscription, under the resource group, and the start time. We'll see how long this takes. I'll make a jump cut and we'll come back. Okay, so we see that the deployment was just completed there. I made my jump cut and we can see now if we click go to resource, we will go to the database. But you know, you can also go to your resource group and then find the database that way. So remember, go to resource groups up here, go to your resource group, and now you'll see the database. So this is the SQL Server and this is the actual database. Okay, so now that the database is created and the SQL Server is created, we're going to want to log into it and actually do some stuff like create tables, select data, set up our database, you know, set it up. We can then hook it up to our app. So first step is to log in, and I recommend actually using Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio because it allows you to just simply put in the URL from Azure here, put the login and password that we configured earlier, and just log in simply. So And then it gives you a ton of tools. You can create a new query, you can create stored procedures. It's very easy to use. It shows you the connection in the top right. You can connect to more than one database with this tool. It's very good. So I recommend getting it, and then you can actually use your database properly. But before we log in with this screen that's popped up here, first we need to configure the network settings, because it's going to not let you connect from anywhere because we didn't configure public network access. So make sure this is enabled, so selected networks, and then you want to come down in here and add your client IPv4 address. So I have mine blurred out right now so you guys don't see it, but add it and then click save, and then it'll allow you to connect from your IP. So that way you choose only a certain amount of IP addresses that can connect to your database, and not any random person can. It's only approved by you. So once that's saved and set up, now you can go into SQL Server Management Studio and enter this stuff in. So where did we get that information? We want to go to Overview. The server name is right here. So you can just copy this, put it in here. Make sure SQL Server Authentication is picked, like we picked when we deployed it. Put your login, put the password in, and then you can just click connect. And just like that, we've connected to our database server, and we can see our database. It's going to have no tables, no stored procedures yet. It's a blank database. So now we can actually do stuff. And this is in the cloud. This is not on your computer. That's what's cool. So let's do a new query. Let's just create a random table here. Execute this. And now if we refresh, we can see our new table. DBO customers. Now we can select data from it. It's not going to have anything, but there you go. So now you can start doing stuff to your database. It's now deployed in Azure. It costs you $1 a month. I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I apologize for any slip-ups in this video, but you know, I did my best. I got the information across, so I hope you guys found it helpful. Drop a like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.